Little Jeff went up to the top of a cliff and started picking small fruit from a bush. Well, one of them fell down, and he tumbled down afterwards. Guess you could say he got buried.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Buried Podcast. This is a weekly show where we go out to the internet jungle and bring back gems of hidden lore to the public seeing eye. As always, I am Declan Grogan, and with me is Jimmy Brown.
I'm gonna tickle you.
Stop!
I'm gonna tickle you.
Stop!
Woo! Stop!
Stop it, you two.
Dylan Ward.
I am here, we are here together, and I don't want to be here or here together. Jimmy, get your hands away from me.
And the impeccable Liam Mann.
So I was under the impression that we were going to keep the whole naked podcast thing going, so I feel really kind of underdressed.
Well, it's appropriate. We're having a little sleepover, a little boys sleepover.
boys'
here.
night.
Boys' night.
Boys' night
in.
sleepover, you know.
Yes,
And
this
if
is,
something
this
happens,
is
what about it?
this is the slumber party episode.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about boys.
We're in our PJs,
Except for
Liam's
Liam.
naked.
Well, I sleep naked, so.
So
I
you're
am
in your
PJs.
Yeah, that's when it was PJ day at school and you showed up naked. We were all confused.
Oh, well.
We came around to it.
I hate when those kids would be there like, what if I sleep in my underwear? You know what? I tell you what, I embarrassed myself so much when it was PJ day because I showed up in my pajamas that were like a little like picture of like it was a Robin costume, like Robin and Batman
Okay.
or whatever, and everybody made so much fucking fun of me. I was crying at
no.
the
I
end.
feel like I had that same thing where it was
kindergarten.
like it was like PJ day and everyone wore like I was the only one who was wearing like themed pajamas.
Exactly.
Like I wore my Power Rangers. Like everyone was wearing like sweatpants, like not sweatpants, but like you know what I mean, like those like the plaid like long pants.
We're
like,
wearing
they're, like,
adult
kind of-
pajamas.
They were in pajamas.
Yeah.
They still like were looking fine. I was like full on like
Well-
like you know like when you're a kid they're like tights. It's like I was wearing my Power Rangers tights, my ill-fitting like long sleeve Power Rangers shirt, and I look like a fucking goof.
No, I loved it.
I imagine, like, to a certain extent, like, back then, we're like, oh, we're kids, we gotta look cool to the other kids, so we're not gonna come wearing our Sunday best. We're gonna come wearing, you know, like, the beat-up pants and the beat-up t-shirt.
Exactly.
But the thing is, everything in my wardrobe, like Liam's, was matching shirts and matching pants. You know, so every time it would come to this, it would be like wearing a onesie, and everybody else is wearing, you know,
I avoided that
normal
problem.
street clothes.
I avoided that problem by having the same 10 green shirts and 10 gray khakis. I wore those every day.
Well, that's
Zuckerberg method.
for my so we all went to the same high school, and at this high school we had to wear a uniform.
We did?
You went naked. You went naked.
Liam was naked, yeah.
So I'm told.
Sorry, I was too popular.
But something that I at least thought about doing. You know, if I didn't
Considered
go
it.
naked every day.
A little bit.
But what I do was I would you have how many shirts would you guys say you had for the week?
I'd
Or
like-
how many pairs of pants would you say you had for the week?
I had two
And
pairs of pants.
Yeah, like
At our high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Like shirts.
during a 5-day school week,
5-day
you
school
can
week.
reuse the same pair of pants twice.
see, I used to go with my brother though, and he would hog the laundry. Like he'd throw it in his laundry basket and not wash it. So like sometimes it would vary, you know.
Some days I'd be blessed and have 4.
Yeah.
and
Some days I'd have to go
one.
shirtless, you know.
Yeah.
Take a
I
white
feel-
tee, draw on some buttons.
I feel like eventually people start to catch on because what I would do is I would go home and I'd take off my clothes, I'd throw them all in the washing machine, and then I just wear this. I wore literally the same outfit every single day because I washed it.
Yeah,
I wore the
okay.
same one pair. I literally, people are like, "Did you wear that yesterday?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking washed it."
I did that but didn't wash it.
For the podcaster,
Readers.
for our readers that don't know, we all went to the same school. It was like a private school where you had a uniform, so everybody had to show up in, you know, the classic leather jacket, booty shorts, you know,
yeah.
you know,
Slick back.
helmet, you know.
Yeah, slick
So-
back, greased hair.
Sandals
So
with
Liam
socks.
could get away with
Dance
it pretty
numbers.
easily.
Yeah, the principal was a greaser back in the 50s, and
Yeah.
he thought that everyone had to be.
And every time he's like, "You kids are too up," but he'd flick out his comb from his weird thing. He'd just start greasing his hair.
Well,
back.
Yeah,
I think the best thing about him was that whenever he would come and like hand out like a slip for like detention or something like that, he wouldn't just walk up to you and hand it to you. He would start on the other side of the hallway and just
No, wait, no, please, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember I
You
got
dead
detention.
kid.
I got detention one time. He called me into his office, and he just, I was talking in class. You know, I sat down. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I talked in class." He doesn't say anything. He just flicks out a switchblade. and he starts tossing it in between his hands. He goes, "Yeah, I'll slice you. I'll dice you. You got a problem with me, kid? Yeah, I'll cut you. I'll cut you." I was like, "Please,
he was real aggressive. When it was like the teacher conferences and the other principals came with him, and they would all be like, "Hey, give me your money." I'm like, "No, stop, please."
Yeah, they robbed my parents.
Yeah, really. Was he our principal?
That one fucking guy with the symbols kept following him around all the time.
Did we go to a school? Now that I'm thinking more, I'm kind of starting to unpack this.
They let us wear pajamas. We wore the same thing every day.
Leah was naked.
I wasn't naked. I a couple of red flags went up when it was at somebody's house. I thought that was like the biggest like.
Yes, pajama day.
And how we only had one class and it was make t-shirts.
And it was literally a factory line.
Yeah, it was so sweaty. All right, we want to do some topics. Want to get into that?
I think we should do some topics.
I feel like I've started the last 2 times.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's...
So we should keep it going. No.
Keep this
I can go first if you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd love.
I'll do
Gimme.
it for you.
What if I don't like it?
Okay.
Well, that's the answer to that, I guess.
So moving past. Okay, so my topic kind of addresses that whole issue about Kickstarter. All right, where people start.
The one.
Yeah. Kickstarter. Oh yeah. All right, but Kickstarter is infamous for often having projects that are well funded. Everybody backs them. They reach their goal many times way past the goal. Obviously, there are many instances of this. My most bitter being Yog Ventures from the Yogs cast. I'll talk about that in a second.
Sure.
Or the most famous one, everybody's favorite device that's still used very heavily to this day.
Star Citizen? No, sorry, what?
The oh yeah.
The oh yeah.
Oh, the fucking ooh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the
When they're
little
like
game console.
people.
The future of gaming is square and shaped like a ring box.
Mobile games are inherently fun and not just played because you can play them on your phone. People will love to play mobile games at their house.
Yeah.
You know what the best part about mobile games is? Not the portability, it's the screens. We're putting it on your TV.
Ouya was almost as good as the Soldier Boy
Why
console.
don't you play like a real
Soldier
video
game.
game?
Soldier game.
I know.
Oh, the fucking Soldier game.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sorry, let's.
All right,
I
sorry.
wanna hear
Steamroll.
So mine is specifically about, and yes, I'll reiterate that I go on Tumblr all the time. I've been on it for like 7 years, which
He
like
can't
is
log off.
really, it's it's really weird to think that you've been on a website for like 7 years.
Dude, I can't wait to own this libtard later
Yeah.
in the podcast.
So this was a huge event at the time, like I've talked about before with the Cole Sprouse and the Bones and all that kind of stuff. This was Mrs. Officer and Mr. Truffles.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
This is a Kickstarter based on a GIF. I think it was a picture actually of an officer talking to a bear after they saved it or something, and the internet fell in love with this. All right, they started writing all sorts of like comics and all sorts of little stories and all that kind of stuff
adorable.
until eventually they made some designs based on it. And it started really gaining steam. Okay, they were like, "Wow, this should be a TV show."
Sure.
Kind of like when 4 white guys start talking, they're like, "Hey, we should do a podcast."
What makes you think I'm white?
You're naked.
Jimmy, my cheek hurts from your tongue.
What? Where the fuck did that come from?
Whoa!
That could have been worded better. It was a tongue-in-cheek joke.
What did I say on episode 1? I said no licking.
Okay, guys,
The only rule.
Using teeth.
this is the sleepover podcast.
I don't care if you talk over each other. I don't care if you disconnect from the podcast. I don't care if you stop to go get your laundry. No licking.
All right, Mr. Truffles.
All right, so they started a Kickstarter about it, obviously, because that's what one does when one thinks they have a fantastic idea like this. And they wanted to do a 22-minute, serial TV show in the style of Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, and they started doing all this kind of stuff until, and gasp, they found out that the artist was problematic. Look out!
No.
Okay, apparently, the artist used to go by the name Live the F***tree.
Oh.
Or whatever. And I'm sorry for our readers who, don't like that term. I'm just expressing what this is about.
You're reporting, not...
Yeah, I'm reporting. And then they started talking about how the bear in the photo might be dead now, and maybe it'd be disrespectful. I guess. Like the Yeah,
the actual bear died.
But the money kept coming into the Kickstarter, beside all these controversies, and there's a lot of stuff that went into this. That, to be honest, when I was researching for this,
But why did they take the bear's own personal thoughts into account for a TV show? Why were they like, you know what we got to consider right here? You know what's what's the manufacturer, what the bear thinks.
The bear sued. Well, the bear sued for copyright.
That's true.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
But there were all sorts of arguments.
It was a famous case. He was
Famous
called to the
trial.
stand,
Bear versus
and they
the
said,
United States
and
of
they
America.
said, Mr. Bear, on this day, like, how do you think that this company has disrespected you? Broke my heart.
Did you see that?
Broke my heart. Words.
Move aside, OJ. Jesus. This is the real case of the century.
All right, so it kept on going. There were all sorts of controversies. The artist was getting, eviscerated for their former username when they were like in their teens or something. It's not a cool username. I don't know if they were, gay or something, and were just trying to do the reclaim the word thing. But there was a lot of issues with that people were having.
Sure.
And suddenly, they started just not doing stuff. The classic Kickstarter way.
Yeah.
Where they start to just kind of take the money.
Do they? So did you just take the money in that case?
I think there are refunds and all that stuff, but in reality, Kickstarter, they're not going to send people to houses, really. It's very difficult to track that kind of thing.
From what I've heard, the Kickstarter, their monitoring of a project is notoriously lax.
Yeah.
At least it was. I don't know what the story is now. I don't know how it is. But from stories I've heard, it's once the creator has your money, they can kind of do whatever they want.
That just I get that they're a company, but that just sounds like bullshit. That just sounds like bullshit because it's so easy. If I paid somebody $3, there's a physical transaction record of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like oh, we don't know how much you gave. We don't, it's it's there. I have a receipt. that says I gave this much and I didn't get what I bought.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the end, I think they did raise enough money, and really the money was for a 7-minute animated short, as a pitch or whatever. But they wanted $80,000
Jesus
for this 7-minute short, and they got it. And It got at $100,000, all sorts of stuff. Then artists started coming out and being like, I wasn't paid very well for the animation that I did, and then all this kind of stuff happened until eventually, I'm pretty sure they just kind of ran away with the money. So
did they ever make the short?
I think it only really got to some storyboards that were released. I don't know. When I researched this a while ago, and I should have.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
The problem was that they were trying to make a TV show about a single picture on the internet.
Yeah.
That's
that's another thing that's in the back of my mind. It's who are the other characters?
That's the thing.
This is a show. You're trying to buy a TV show and you have 2 characters.
In a lot of ways, you almost.
That's kind of okay. Finn and Jake, you can build a world around 2 characters.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Well, right, but if you have 2 written characters, it's just this is just literally an image of 2 things. And it's let's write a story.
You know who I really feel bad for the most, though? I feel bad for the police officer that saw all this go down.
Yeah.
There's a picture of her pointing at the cartoon or whatever, going this is great.
Bad for the bear. I feel bad for the bear. I think they did the right thing, not doing the show because of the bear's feelings.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming to my office. I heard you had a TV show pitch.
Yeah. Hey, this is our TV show. It's called Bear and McMahon.
Yeah. That's it.
We're a flexible title. We can. I'm willing to give on this. What I'm not willing to give.
Hold on one second. Hold on a second.
No, yeah.
Sorry, Susan. Can you cancel my point with NBC? I think this is gonna be really good. All right, keep going. Keep going.
The one thing I won't move on. It will be a very staunch Nestle criticism show. Every episode, it ends with the bear character looking directly into the camera and saying, "Stop, Nestle. Nestle needs to stop." I won't budge on that.
I noticed you're all right. That's I mean, I should be scared about that, but your partner's been in the corner here. Staring at the window for quite some time, saying nothing. What's his deal?
He's brooding. He's my trap card. In case in case I don't sell it, he's my backup.
He's supposed to.
Why don't you? He's my secret weapon. Why don't you go ahead and
sir?
Why don't you go ahead and?
I'd love to hear.
I tossed it up,
pitch.
and he's gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going straight to 12 episodes. I'm giving you the money right now.
Oh, he didn't even need my secret weapon.
I didn't need the secret weapon. Honestly, I'm sold.
It was the fact that sometimes.
I'm sorry. Can you send Conan home? Yeah, no, I don't need to talk to him. It's fine. I'm all about this one project.
Wow, you got Conan the Barbarian to be the real barbarian. Wow, I didn't know Arnie was still doing that character.
He's all about it. Yeah, he's still for it. All right, I can go. I'd love to go.
Okay.
Did you say you have big news?
Oh, just wait.
Oh, come on.
Just wait about the big news.
I swear to God, if you if you reach for that ukulele,
I have the ukulele.
I'm gonna turn off the microphone.
You're gonna want me to reach for the ukulele.
Hey,
after you hear what the big news is.
Let me just remind you something real quick.
Yeah.
You own the ukulele, but I own the microphone.
So all right.
So tread lightly.
So you're gonna break the microphone.
This is the episode where we split up. Liam owns the microphone, Declan's the host.
You guys remember the music.
All right. This is a website called the Pigeon Movie Database.
Oh boy.
It's PMDB for sure. It's a guy who goes in...
Database is one word.
Yeah. So it's PMD, and then the B is like IMDb. You know that? That's the joke there.
Internet Movie Database. The Pigeon Movie...
Yeah, this is a guy who goes into movies and gives reviews based on the scene, how many scenes with pigeons there are in the movie.
Oh, that's great.
And he goes into in-depth analysis about each one. Like, one of them is like, I was very upset about the new Game of Thrones episode because Arya Stark sliced a pigeon in half. This is a very upsetting imagery and basically an attack against pigeon kind. Or the other one is like, he goes into like long where it's like, in the opening credits of Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal's face is made out of pigeons and then flies away, showing the fleeting part of his character and also the fleeting amount of pigeons there are in the world. It's just long things.
He's like genuinely convinced that Silence of the Lambs is a commentary on dwindling pigeon populations.
But the surprising thing is like go into
Silence
this,
of the Pigeons.
and there's a large amount of pigeons in the Silence of the Lambs. There's a lot of pictures where it's like they just like are shoo and like they go out and then he goes like when they said shoo to the pigeons, what were they really saying?
Dude, he's gonna lose his shit when Pixar Pigeons comes out next year.
Is that a movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
See,
I think I've done this every single time on the podcast.
He's
probably watching that one movie about like the storks. Is like storks are overrepresented or pigeons.
Yeah, and then he does one about Home Alone 2, and then he goes, revisiting Home Alone 2. I forgot this one scene where the robber knocks pigeons across the thing with a newspaper. It's funny because he looks happy while he's so angry. The pigeons will not forgive you. It's just like a long... And there's only like 131 people on this. And I think
it's important to note that you just said that to us without looking down at the script. Did you like know that? Like, did you have that memorized?
What the fuck?
No.
Because Declan made eye contact with us while finishing that reading.
I wouldn't... No.
You know, weirdly enough, Declan has the ability to think.
Wait, Declan, what's that on your collar? Is that a feather on your collar?
Declan, why are you logged into that website?
Looking. I'm not.
Declan,
No.
Hey, Declan. Why are you pecking at that piece of bread right there?
I'm just. Oh no! I'm sorry.
Declan, why are you 1 foot tall and also a pigeon?
I gotta go. Declan, scram, boys! They're on.
Declan, why are you pooping on my windowsill?
I'm nervous. All right, so that's my topic, and to see the times. Hey there,
son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Welcome to Nuggets. Today we only have one. And boy howdy, is it a real great one. My friends and family, I was just sort of messing around when we were looking at it. And lo and behold, I decided to check our email. And we have a user submission, my friend.
Shut up!
Oh, no!
We have a user submission, guys.
Read the email.
We got fan mail.
Wait,
God.
shut up.
No.
If it's a Hitler photo, I will literally cry.
No. It's from our good friend Storm Fam. I'm not going to read their full email, or their email address. But they said, like, they just out of nowhere were, like, super nice about it. They're like, hey, I don't know if you found the girl named Cactus or not, but I saw a news article today about a woman named Cactus. Called Paris. And then she sent it to us and said, that's a unique name. I thought I'd send it your way in case you haven't found her. So it's a very short story, but in the spirit of someone interacted with us, guys.
Oh my god.
We've been noticed. We're famous. We're famous, guys.
We're famous.
We have a fan.
We're famous, guys. So I thought I'd read the story real quick and see if there's anything. It's a very small thing. The story is called Texas police. Women said meth shards in purse were healing crystals. And it just says, Texas police in Friendswood pulled over Cactus Calderas for not signaling a lane change. Calderas submitted to vehicle searching, during which officers said they found meth, butane lights, and a small pipe in her purse. Police said Calderas told them the crystals were not meth, but healing crystals. Calderas was charged with possession for a controlled substance. And they sent this to us, that's all. Because her name was Cactus.
The title of the email is literally just Cactus.
Her name was... So, I mean, like, it's pretty fantastic, because her name was Cactus. She said, yeah, you can search my vehicle. They found meth. And everything. She was like, yeah, go ahead and search it. And I was like, no, they're healing crystals.
See, that makes you believe, because, like, sometimes on, like, me and Dylan sometimes like to watch... You ever watch Cops?
Sometimes we do heroin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes me and Dylan shoot up.
And boy, howdy, are they healing crystals.
And right before I go out like a light, I'm like... you know, from the heroin. No, but we like to watch Cops sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you know, people always get caught with drugs, and they're like, those are my drugs. Like, what is that? Like, but, like, the fact that she consented to the search means that she probably genuinely believed that the meth was healing crystals. You know what I mean? She probably actually was like, oh yeah, like
I mean, she did have a pipe and all that stuff to like do it.
Yeah, but maybe they were like, this pipe is how you transfer the crystals.
It is really funny to like think that like it could be a concept of somebody just walking around with like, I don't know, like a necklace and it's got like some crystal methamphetamine,
sure,
like at the very end.
Or maybe she was just
and like everybody's just so happy when they're around me. You know, they're like getting like
I'm always in such a good mood when I have this on.
Or maybe she was just like maybe she was like way too confident in her ability to hide meth. Like she was like, yeah, search my car. You're not gonna find anything. You're like, oh, it's in the glove box. Like, shit.
I took
5 seconds. Like, what's that? She's like, damn it.
She's like, I took a semester of psychology. I know how to manipulate the officer into thinking it's not worth it.
They're healing crystals. Thanks. I'll take $100 and I'll be on my way.
And they find
the officer. Don't give me $100.
They find the meth, and he's like, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Am I free to go? He's like, no, this is meth. You're not free to go. Oh, am I being... For what crime?
What I do, officer?
Meth is the crime.
The thing in Cops that I don't understand is when they find somebody with meth, it's not like, oh, let me chuck it as hard as I can and hope that they can't find it. It's, I'm going to put it under my tongue. They won't find it there. It's always under the tongue. Like, to the point where I was watching an episode and the guy gets pulled over, I'm like, they're going to chuck under the tongue.
For Cops, they do that?
That's the thing. Like, it's funny how, like, I don't know... Forgive me, because I don't do meth that often. But, like, I feel like if I were to do meth, I wouldn't just, like, keep it in my pocket. You know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe I can't really get inside the head of a meth user.
Sure.
But, like, it's always, like, they reach in their pockets, like, oh, here's meth. Or, like, they reach for their wallet and meth comes out. It's like, dude, if I had meth on my person, I would, like, between my butt cheeks. Yeah. Or, like... You know what I mean? It's like, or like, case it out, like, cops are coming, swallow it. Swallow the whole thing.
Right, yeah, right?
You know what I mean? It's like, you know what, it's just like, they throw it, because it's like, they think that, like, oh, what are they going to find the smoke? Like, they always find the dime.
But, like, alright, I don't know, I don't really know how much the overdose thing is.
Sure, that's
like,
fair.
if you swallow the bag and it, like, starts to, like, dissolve the plastic lining or
I've
something.
been Taco Bell before.
You don't want to just
like, but
straight
like,
up die.
like, my stomach can handle some shit.
Okay.
You could be like, hey, Mr. Officer, I just, like, swallowed a whole fucking crystal of meth. You need to take me to the hospital.
Well, that defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
well,
then you might as well just say,
hello,
here's the
officer, I ate meth tonight.
I have...
He's like slowly getting. He's like, officer!
Oh, officer, you'll never guess what's in my tummy.
If you want to search my car, go right ahead. But you must answer these riddles.
What did I just swallow? Where do I need to go?
3. Do you have a driver's
3,
license?
please help me.
Well, they want to use it later. That's why they keep it on the tongue. That's great, though.
What's the name of this person that emailed us?
Storm Fam.
Storm Fam,
shout out to you, dude.
You're
Thank
the
you so
first
much.
one.
You're actually number 1. We've been doing this. We're getting pretty close to the 1-year anniversary.
I know.
We're a couple months off.
Holy crap!
We haven't gotten a single user submitted.
And you want to know just how bad this is. She sent this during April 18th. And I just found it.
What?
And I found it.
Well, it's a shame because that's That's the thing. It's like it was almost demoralizing. It's like April. What episode were we on in April? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we got to a point where it's like, well, I mean,
No, it's Saturday.
We must have been about. It was 2 months ago, wasn't it? So it was probably about 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm
With
probably
our-
on 14
with our
right now.
weekly upload schedule.
Yeah, with
It's our
Yeah,
weekly,
right.
the weekly show, the Buried Podcast.
well, we must be
Yeah.
on episode like 30 by now.
We spend a lot of time in the jungle, all right? Whatever.
Yeah.
We are actually in a. I feel like we
You know, we-
overlooked this fact. We're in a jungle.
We're in a jungle.
In
We're
Lithuania.
literally in Lithuania.
In
Yeah.
the
In
Lithuanian
Lithuanian jungle, the famous Lithuanian jungle.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, thank you so much, Storm Fam. You're
Yeah.
the best.
Fantastic.
You're part of our fam.
Keep
I love
listening.
you.
That made my night. Thank you.
Man
Yeah.
or woman?
That
you're the
that
best.
actually made me like.
And for anyone else that wants to step up their game like Storm, you can send any of your topics to the just buriedpodcast@gmail.com. It's on our website if you want to find that as well.
Yeah.
We'll be happy. We'll be super happy to read them. And just
So
keep it
Declan,
fun.
what's the big news?
He's
pregnant!
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Do you want to finish? Because I don't have like a super good one.
Wait, do
Sure.
the outro.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to
Oh
do
yeah,
that
yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right. So this is
Yeah.
Mark's
Since
the
we're
end.
already.
Since we're already, the ukulele podcast. There we are.
Love that.
Nuggets.
Liam's giving me the fucking dead eye stare right
I'm
now.
gonna kill you. For
I
real.
will. We could just record it and edit in later if you don't want to hear it again. Go ahead.
You'll be dead for real.
So not the meth kills you first. Go ahead, Dylan.
Are you enjoying that water? I put meth in the ice cubes.
They're slowly melting.
Put under your tongue.
I see it. It's
Wait, no,
crystal
these are
clear.
healing crystals.
Damn
You're
it.
only getting healthier.
Then what did I take?
So my topic is a subreddit. We got together today to come up to talk about having a podcast today. The idea came up and everybody's like, yeah, let's run with it. We all have topics. I'm like, haha! So I found this in like 10 minutes. But this is a subreddit that I've been seeing that I do kind of enjoy somewhat, because every time I go on Instagram, I see what Liam's pointed out before, these just terrible mobile games. Like, they just look so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like a very clearly awful game, or it's gameplay from a game that's very clearly not what they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I found a subreddit called r/shitty mobile ads.
Oh
That's
shit!
all.
That's all it is. It's just a subreddit dedicated to like the Lord's mobile ad that everyone's
Wait.
seen, where it's like the troops forming a triangle.
Can we play a game where you give us the title of the game and then we tell you what the game is? What the mobile game is?
Wait,
Sure.
you
Well,
give
then
us
we
the
just
title.
then
we
we're
should-
just
and then
advertising.
can we recreate one of those ads?
Okay.
Have you seen those ads that's
Yeah.
like,
All
oh man, my level 5 hero is losing. Huh. Better re-roll.
So wait, so that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Somebody
Enchanted wizard, the best in the game.
somebody called out Lord's Mobile because they found out that the ads of the two troops, the blue troop and the red troop, charging at each other,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the same clip with a different video of a person in the corner going, "Whoa, guys, I guess my formation wasn't correct. I have to do a different strategy." It's the same video. In
Whoa,
the
man,
background.
you
Talk
lost.
about that.
Try horseshoe formation.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's shorter end in victory.
Okay, so Declan, I'm gonna describe a shitty Instagram mobile ad that's
Okay.
being presented to me. You have to guess what the name of the game is.
Okay.
Called, okay.
Okay.
So it's a picture of two pregnant women sitting on an airplane, and you have a crossbow, and it says,
Oh.
she is fake pregnant, and you have to shoot one of the pregnant ladies in the stomach
Wow.
to figure out which one is the fake pregnant one.
Gosh.
So now, not only is this a cartoon video, but it's implying that if you pick the wrong woman, you will shoot a baby with a crossbow.
Well,
This is like the
this is
ultimate-
easy. This is
The
easy.
ultimate high stakes.
All right.
You just ask the babies a question, and if one of them answers, you know.
Yeah.
One of us tells the truth, and one of us always lies.
It's I'm guessing the mobile app is called Belly Button Piercing Simulator.
So guys, if you
I mean, you have a crossbow. Is it one of those like sniper games? Like, would it be like?
It's called Archery Champ, and it's a picture of two cartoon pregnant ladies, and then like a Call of Duty graphics.
I feel like
bow and arrow.
I feel like we should do the reverse. I feel like you should give us the title of the game, and then we have to.
And
say
we
Okay,
tell you
yeah,
what the
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
Also,
Looks like-
also, these two ladies are pregnant and one's faking. Is anyone here an archery show?
This one is
Alright.
so okay. So everybody probably has seen those ads. It's like you type in a word jumble, and it helps two men escape from prison.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's
I
seen
Yeah,
that.
actually.
yeah.
Okay, so I started downloading like a lot of those games. I have like a shit ton of like games on my phone just because like I see an app And I'm like, all right, what actually is this game?
Sure.
The one where it's like you have to get a man out of prison.
Yeah.
It's like very, very like it's you could tell there's a lot of like you could tell the people who made it weren't English, decidedly not English, and it just goes on forever. It's like every day it's like oh, like you just have to type in like a word jumble, and it's like you dug 2 inch, good job. Today total inch 24.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
It's like guard money give. Good.
Nice. So it's a picture of that game, but the caption that this ad paid money, it's a picture of that game, and it's if you don't play this game, you're gay.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Like that's somebody was like, we need money, we need funding.
You know what I hate
This will
most?
get 'em.
I hate those mobile ads that are like, my mom playing this game, and
My
it's like this
dad.
like completely great
Yeah.
like thing, and then it's my dad playing this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
You
worst.
know?
The other ones that absolutely just I fucking hate so much are the ones where it's like you make a decision. It's like the choices thing or whatever, where it's like
Oh,
the guy comes back and his girlfriend's sleeping with somebody. It's like, do you like leave or shoot the girlfriend? Like one of the options is like very clearly not the right one, you know, or it's like it's very clear like one of them just seems off. This one is what?
Oh no! You guys can keep on talking. I was pulling up my presentation. I did a presentation on how mobile games are shitty
okay.
Oh,
in
we
business
just go.
class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this
I
is
thought something was the so for our blind
Well, then
viewers.
let's clap now. Let's clap now.
No, no.
Otherwise
No,
it'll make
we'll
sense.
just keep going.
We'll cut all this.
No, but it was the only thing.
Vespucci will get it.
Yeah, Vespucci was like hovering over the laptop, and I was like,
Vespucci, our
Yeah.
editor.
Vespucci kind of I saw him holding a knife over Declan's head, but when I clapped, he was cutting a roll of cheese.
He kept being like, "Pretty bird, I cook you, bird."
You know, I think Vespucci and Kotangle are starting to really become friends.
They're really
You know?
sort of like plotting.
They're like,
stuff.
I think, you know, I've noticed that they're kind of like literally attached at the hip. Like
Yeah,
I'm talking like they're like been sewn together.
Yeah, and I think
You know?
I think they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed something in my you know, because we all share a computer.
Yeah.
Because we have one jungle computer.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I noticed in the Google search history it was how to sew 2 people together, and I'm one of the people. How do I do it?
And it was all spelled wrong.
And it was all spelled wrong, and there was peach juice all over the keyboard. Yeah,
just
I don't
broke
know.
our own
Vespucci's
computer.
Vespucci!
Hey, and
and also Kotango connected at the hip.
Oh, you guys
my
are
God.
going? Don't
Wait,
take all our food.
what's that? Now you're Vespucci Kangle?
Vespangle?
Spangle.
Vespucci Kangle? What?
All right, back to the. Give us the name of a mobile game.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Kotucci.
She hit me in the Kotucci.
No, you guys can go ahead. No, it's
Okay.
fine. We're.
So this is
No,
like
yeah.
this
No,
is,
I don't need a gun.
back to the shitty mobile ads really quick.
Yeah, sorry.
This one's a game called Celestial Crusade, and it's like that one meme that was a couple months ago where it's like the boss, where it's like level 1 boss, and
I love that.
But
Yeah.
instead of doing like level 1 boss, and instead of like Crook and what, it's pictures of SpongeBob of the meme. It's literally a meme of SpongeBob with like the different levels of him getting stronger. It looks out of place. It's like they don't own SpongeBob, you know.
Give us the
What
name
is
of
this
it.
an ad for?
I'm
I don't.
blind.
It's like a picture of a
green
minion, but
minion.
Hulk.
A little great boy.
All right, give us a title.
Okay,
We'll
yeah,
give
yeah.
you the game.
All right, let me. Well, I'm gonna have to find one.
All right.
This
yeah,
one's
those.
literally titled "Florida Man Calls the Whole Town Because He Beats His High Score," and it's that one game where you move a thing to make the ball drop down.
That's actually a fun one. So my biggest. So this is my game reviewer corner.
Okay.
I've actually played a shocking number of these Instagram mobile games.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with them is that they're fun in concept. Like they're fun in the sense that like the base game is fun. Like most of the time the base like thing you do is fun. Mm-hmm. But you can tell that they're all so lazy. Like they're all like copy paste. You know what I mean? It's like all the like once you get past level 5, you know what I mean? It's like they just keep reusing levels, and it's like it never gets any harder. And it's like, well, this like it's almost more annoying. it somehow makes it more annoying than if it were just a bad game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like they have a great. It's like they usually have a fun concept, but it's just copy pasted levels. It's just they want you to download the game.
Yeah, they
like,
just want it out as soon, which I think your PowerPoint was talking about.
Yeah.
You just want it out as soon as possible.
Yeah, I made a full
You got a
PowerPoint for my college class about how terrible mobile games are and how they
they're awful.
misrepresent themselves in ads.
Yeah, I wish there was a device that let me play them at my home. Maybe then I'd.
Yeah,
maybe
like
I'd
on
be
like a
about
television.
it.
You know,
I just hate how I have
I
to
think
be mobile while playing
we
them.
should
you know?
call it.
This podcast is brought to you by the Ouya. By the Ouya. Please. I invested in Ouya. I'm on 50,000 Ouyas. I need to move them. I've been hanging on to them since 2012. Please buy my Ouya.
Please buy my Ouya. Alright, what's the name of the game?
Alright, so I want you to just guess what this... Okay, so this is a mobile game. It's called Amazing Fishing.
Oh.
And the thumbnail shows a cartoon man who looks like Moses in a boat with a fishing rod. So what would the game look like? So it's called Amazing Fishing. It got 4.5 stars on the Google Play Store, or so they claim in the picture.
Okay, 10 minutes of him just being there, getting angrier and angrier as he's not fishing, until a button appears that says, "The Wrath of God." And lightning comes down, and then all the fish come out and goes, "Amazing fish!"
I bet.
Amazing.
You know what I bet? I bet that he's like fishing and he's like cartoony and all that stuff, and he keeps pulling out junk and all that stuff until he gets the perfect thing, and he pulls out, and it's woman with big boob.
Oh,
Look out!
Now
Look out!
that'll
No,
sell.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
he's alright.
Any guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna turn this on its head. You're the fish.
Oh.
You're the fish, and you have to try not to get caught by Moses. Moses.
He's trying to save
you.
No, because Moses, when he parted the Red Sea, he dropped his favorite. He dropped his keys while he was crossing, and the ocean came. He's like, "Oh no!" And he's trying to fish for the keys, and he kept catching fish. And so he's going on this rampant fishing spree trying to get his keys back, and you have to try to survive.
So, I don't know what the actual gameplay of this game will look like, but the ad that it shows for a cartoon picture of a man, it shows that same cartoon man fishing, and he looks like a cartoon character with the same style of maybe Family Guy.
Yeah.
At a
Yeah,
stretch.
that's epic.
But everything that he's fishing for is a behemoth fish monster that is hyper realistic. And not only that, not only is he this little cartoon man, there's a sunken castle with birds floating around.
What?
It's like realistic ocean, but he's just a cartoon character. And then instead of him fishing, there's a fucking target gun bullet
Crosshairs.
a crosshair.
It's a cartoon Family Guy man with crosshairs over a fucking Leviathan.
Oh my god.
And the Leviathan has a health of 38,400.
Take
And
the shot,
also,
Johnny.
there's also just a random red light. There's a red light there.
There's
just
sirens.
a siren alarm.
Alert!
red light
Oh,
there.
man.
Leviathan that has.
Oh man,
Leviathan
my level 1.
versus-
Oh man, my level 1 fisher can't beat the Leviathan. I better buy myself a better rod. Oh hey, look, the best rod in the game.
Oh hey,
Yeah.
it's me, level 10 Dale.
Wow,
I have 50,000 HP,
But-
and I can summon the Dark Lord of Fishing.
Like,
Well,
I
please
could-
do. We're up against a Leviathan.
Have I told you how annoying my wife is? Oh man.
Dale, please summon the Leviathan monster.
Sometimes, my wife likes to talk my ear off.
It
That's
has my
why
leg.
That's why I like, the fish. They don't talk so much. You know what I mean?
Dale, it has my torso, please.
Hold on, let me.
Oh wow, I'm okay.
So the other thing I noticed about this game that I have to imagine is that it starts off like a regular cartoon game, but then randomly halfway through the fish just get more detailed, and they're literally like this. I don't know if I'm doing a good enough job of describing this. One is like a cartoon Family Guy. The other is literally a hyper realistic, detailed sea monster from the Mariana Trench
From the real
below.
life.
yeah,
From
yeah.
real.
like
Yes,
you know.
hyper realistic giant.
Yeah,
Leviathan.
yeah.
Hyper realistic, and he has
Oh yeah,
blood
the
eyes.
with
real
glowing red
the
eyes.
real Leviathans with glowing red eyes that
Yeah,
exist in
the
real
real
life.
Sharingan.
Yeah.
We haven't
He's
explored all the
also
ocean.
just
We're gonna
standing
forget
on a pontoon. Like there's just
Yeah, and-
there's just a lot going on here.
Lots
All
to
right.
unpack. Oh, is it my turn?
It's
Liam?
your turn.
Love to-
I believe you are up.
Pass the talking. stick.
Yeah, pass the talking stick.
I think we're all in agreement when I say domestic abuse is bad.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But for the sake of argument, continue.
Yeah, okay. Going forward, let's pretend for this segment that we all think domestic abuse is bad. Let's just say, for the sake of argument.
Okay, just go.
So there's this YouTube channel called No Excuses Campaign. And, you know, their mission is noble. I'll grant them that much. It's their whole point is their videos kind of talking about domestic abuse and like being like, domestic abuse is bad, don't do it. But the way the videos are presented is so like comedically ham-handed that you can't help but like just laugh. It's so blunt that it's funny.
Okay.
So it's these little animations. They have 30 subscribers, by the way.
Wow.
What a campaign!
How did you find him? Were you like looking for domestic abuse help?
I was. I mean, Vespucci has been. I walked into a door that Vespucci opened. It's not really a big deal. But I was just looking to get some resources because, anyway, it's not important why I was looking up domestic abuse.
That was a little dark.
Anyway, but it's these little cartoon men. They're all blue. They're all like Blue Men Group, except a little bit lighter shade.
Okay.
Blue Men Group are a deep blue. They're very light blue. Every character is bald, even the women. They're all bald.
Equality. What does that mean? Like what? Why?
That means they don't have hair.
No, that's no. I mean, why was that artistic choice made to make them blue and bald?
I don't know, but
maybe because it's not like black and white or like any of that.
Well,
kind
that's
of
true
stuff.
because
they don't have to worry about
all their videos are posted in like a bunch of different like.
No, this was made in that Jimmy Neutron universe.
It
No,
is.
that Fairly Odd Parents universe where everybody becomes like a gray blob. So there's no worry about discrimination.
Yeah, but like they also don't have hair. Like that's also
but anyway,
choice.
so their most watched video. There's one. It's like.
How many views does it have? I want to know.
Their most viewed has 1.6 thousand, and the next view has 800. So it's kind of like
steep drop off.
Average is like 500. I would
Okay.
say. But there's one that I thought was particularly funny. It's called "Preventing Verbal Abuse of Children and the Elderly." .mov.
What?
And it's this guy, and he's this blue man. He's doing stand-up comedy, and literally his only jokes he literally is like, "Man, don't you man? Isn't it so funny when you yell at old people?" He's like, "You're like, I don't like you," and they're like, "Oh!" And but the thing is, the audience is like, "Oh." Like the audience is so against him. Like he's like, I'm like, the other day my grandma was standing there and I was like, "Move out of my way," and everyone in the audience was like, "Oh no, no."
I don't like that.
But that's the thing though, because the previous sketch it kind of creates like an inconsistent world.
The cinematic universe?
Because it's a wedding, and the pastor is like, do you Jeremy promise to beat your wife? And he's like, "I do."
Oh god.
What?
But the fact that the priest is saying it makes you think that like the world is like that's the universe of the world. But the people at the wedding are like, "No."
Wait, what?
And the wife is like, "Wait, hold on." He goes, "And you, Stacey, do you promise to be faithful while he beats you?"
Oh my gosh. And everyone's like, "Ooh."
And everyone's like, "Ooh, bad." And then she walks out and she goes, like, "Huh, enjoy being single." And everyone walks out of and like all the crowd is walking, and they're all turning to look at the priest and they're like, "No."
What?
Boo.
What?
It's like so like, and it's like, but like the fact that it's so ham-fisted.
Dude, we live in a
so
society.
like, do you promise to domestically abuse your wife?
But I'm not so much about that. I'm more about that this audience is in every
No, that's
single
the
one.
thing. And
Going,
there's always an audience going,
Not funny.
"No,
Not funny.
not funny, boo." But like, yeah, he's just doing this stand-up act, and he's like, I love yelling at old people. And it's just like, but it's not. It's almost not boo. And there's like, "Oh no."
Can you imagine?
I don't like that.
If he just is like, "Hey, heckler," and the video just stops and he just starts going after the heckler.
Comedian physically abuses elderly heckler. Well, no, that's the thing. I'd like to imagine he's giving this stand-up in front of a crowd of elderly people. He just totally failed to read the room. He's like, man, I love yelling at the elderly. Like, no.
Come on, guys, I got a solid 20 minutes about yelling at the elderly.
Yeah, he wrote this whole sketch about yelling at old people, and like he gets on stage, he looks on the crowd, he's like looking at his note cards. It's like, yell at old people. I hate old people, and the crowd is just all elderly people. He's like,
it sounds like that this place has brought back the Greek chorus. the
modern day. Do you think? No. Okay. Do you think we'd have less crime if at every single crime being committed, there are a group of people going, no, like they weren't stopping the crime.
How would that?
They weren't like yeah, right. So it's like
I want to know the logic of that.
He's like, all right, Johnny, you pushed me too far. I'm gonna shoot you here. I'm gonna shoot you dead.
No. Oh, maybe I'll shoot you in the shoulder. No. What do you want?
He goes, all right, I won't shoot you at all. All right, okay.
I was thinking like it's Oedipus Rex. He goes, I slept with my mom, and the Greek chorus goes, no, God. It's like, stabs his eyes. Oh no.
Julius Caesar being stabbed by the fucking council. No.
Oh, gosh.
And to
Julius, don't cross that river.
Enjoy being dead. Yeah. And it walks out.
I have a dream. Wait. Hey. Let's not do that one.
Fucking Romeo stabbing himself. No. Bad.
Romeo.
Romy, no.
Romeo.
Oh, gosh. Romeo's like, I shall kill myself as well. Also, fuck old people, right? No.
Gosh.
No. And it's like they're doing Macbeth, and he's like, yes, I killed Duncan to be the king, and also because he was too old.
Oh, no.
Ages.
No.
All right.
Why are you guys everywhere?
That's what I was gonna bring up. I'm like, so the idea is that like whenever any crime ever is gonna show up, this gaggle of people show up and unapprovingly nod their head and go, no. But then also at the same time, if you saw them, wouldn't you want to get as far away from them as possible? Because that implies that a crime is coming. Like,
oh crap!
So dude, writing prompt.
I was going to say that.
Writing prompt. Every time a crime happens, a group of people shouts, "No, boo!"
Right.
You're walking down the street. A crowd of people surrounds you.
What do you do?
Black Mirror.
All right. I feel like we've gone through. I feel like we've gone through all the topics now. So let's vote on what we think was the best one.
I think Cactus Calamus or whatever was it.
Go down the line.
So I was No Excuses campaign.
I did shitty mobile ads.
I did Mrs. Officer and Mr. Truffles.
And then I was the pigeon review guy. I mean, do we want to just call it a draw and just give it to fam?
I think, especially because we sat on it for 2 months.
Yeah,
they liked the podcast enough to say, you know what I mean? It's like this podcast
I really
doesn't get a whole ton of views.
Yeah,
and the fact that not only did someone take time to watch the podcast, but to send us something, like that means a lot. That
it means genuinely.
Real talk, all jokes aside, that really means a lot.
It does.
That was just it brightened my day.
It made my day.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
like Declan telling us that was genuinely from the bottom of our hearts the first time we heard about it.
Yeah,
like,
that was a great reaction.
Our reaction.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be Trevor. I wish. He finally emailed us back.
No, that'd be great.
We can do
like
my
Barack Obama.
We'll say though, this is sort of the equivalent of when you order at a restaurant and they just don't give you your food for like an hour and they excuse me and like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's all free and here's another plate.
Yeah.
And you get
you're like, all right, well, I had to wait, but I got something out.
I got some stuff. So Storm fam, you're the best. You win this round. You won
this episode.
You won an episode.
You're the
Congrats.
best.
All right.
Maybe I'll send an email.
Whatever you are.
Maybe next week I'll send an email and it'll be like Shmeum, and you guys Shmeum, you won the podcast, wow. And I'll be like, yeah, Shmeum won, and in my heart I'll be like,
puppet.
Yes,
finally,
I won the podcast.
It's me.
You just go home. One time, right?
I won one time, and I stopped getting votes because I brought up Nestle, and you guys are all Nestle shills.
All right,
that's canon.
Look, I mean, I was in the bit. Let's go back to that again.
Yeah,
the movie, the bear thing.
Yeah, sure.
Why'd you have to do that? You brought Nestle again. I was a bit. It was a fun bit about.
Yeah, no, you're right. I should have just dropped all my convictions to make a quick buck. You're right. That's what I should have done.
That's it. We're stopping the episode.
Okay.
Before anything more happens. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you again. We'll say it again. If you want
give them the email.
Yeah, the email is buriedpodcast@gmail.com. Please send anything you would like there. We're on iTunes. We're on. Like, I just figured out we're on Blueberry podcasting today.
Really?
Yeah, like, I think I had signed up for it like a year ago and forgot about it. But it's still there, so go Blueberry podcasting. We're on the iTunes store. Send, buriedpodcast@gmail.com. We have our own website.
If you come to the jungle, maybe sometime you can hear us
if you're
screaming from the trees.
Yeah, bring us food. Vespucci's right. We're running out.
Vespucci and Cotangle now have 2 stomachs.
So
they're eating all of our peaches.
It's awful.
Watch.
But yeah, if you're ever in Lithuania,
we feed them with views. So
if you're ever in Lithuania, please come by. We're lonely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again for listening. As always, I'm Declan Grogan.
I'm sitting next to the wonderful Declan Grogan.
I'm sitting. What are you talking? I'm sitting next to Declan.
While you guys were talking, I sewed myself to Declan.
Oh my gosh!
It was me who connected Cotangle and Vespucci.
No!